Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Above the Bar podcast, where each week we belly up to the bar with a new guest, find out what they do, who they are, and what makes them great. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Above the Bar podcast. It's your host, Sean. We've bellied up to the bar today. It is the I forgot the date already. June 17th, the Wednesday before Father's Day. And from one of my favorite comedians, I learned that this is the 20th most celebrated holiday in the world. So keep that in mind, folks, that Arbor Day and Halloween are more celebrated than your fathers are. So don't be a cheap ass and go out and buy shirts and socks and ties that none of us want. Be real, buy us things we need, a nice bottle of bourbon. You can buy some new Scotland spirits or something like that, any of those things. Or you can go ahead and research our guest today, who, you can look into what he's got going on and see if that's something that your dad wants. I don't know if he would or not, but it could be something in your dad's wheelhouse that he needs. So joining us, and listen, this is what live is all about, folks. There is nothing more live than what we're doing today. Joining us from an airport in parts unknown, world traveling, jet setting, and doing all that, those kind of things. It's the CEO and founder of PetScreening. And wait, I got to get my media up. Don't unmute yet. Where's my media? I'm so horrible at this. You would think after 6 years, I'm way more organized. It is the CEO and founder of PetScreening, Mr. John Bradford. All right, John, are you John, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sorry,
Yep.
we're really tethering this together, man. I'm using my hotspot.
Duct tape and bubble gun. Duct tape and bubble gun, brother. We will make it happen one way or another. I don't mind at all. So John and I are going to be talking about his company, PetScreening.
I'm excited to be at your bar, man. Really nice to be with you.
We appreciate having you. So we're going to be talking about his company, PetScreening, but we're also going to be talking about what makes an entrepreneur different in how they see opportunities, how they see the things that most people just go, that would be cool. Or maybe other people see it and they don't have the execution ability. So we're going to be talking about that today with John. As always, folks, and those of you that are joining us throughout all the internet world, thanks for joining us. Make sure you give that like, share, follow. Over my right shoulder, as always, folks, is the big board for Sticker and a College. You got something you believe in, something you're supporting, something you want people to know about. Reach out to me on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all the different social medias. Our website is theabovethebarpodcast.com. Our email is theabovethebarpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what you got going on. I'll tell you where to send your sticker to. We throw it up on the big board. Then we also got to talk about, folks, our sponsors. That's Budget Blinds of East Greenbush, Hudson Cooksaki, Schoharie, Delmar, and Clifton Park, North America's largest custom window treatment company. They're dealing with everything from blind, shade, shutters, drapery, you name it, they've got it, all those different items. You reach out to your local, they'll help you out for sure. So make sure you're reaching out to them. What is going on here? I got to put my glasses on. See, John, I told you, every so often I get one. What is this here? So every so often we get silly people, folks, and I don't know who this one is. I don't know who you are, Bob, though, but I hope you catch a tooth infection. But as always, folks, make sure you're reaching out to your local Budget Blinds. This month, Budget Blinds of East Greenbush, Hudson, Cooksaki, Schoharie, Delmar, Clifton Park is doing 20% off of all product. And if you go ahead and let them know that you're there to belly up to the bar, they're going to give you an extra 5% off of that order. So as always, folks, reach out to your local Budget Blinds, regardless of where you're living at there. All right, John, all the other. Yeah. This is how old I'm getting, John. I can't read comments on my own screen unless I put cheaters on. This is how bad it's getting for me.
That's okay. You look good. You have good glasses, Sean.
Listen. I look quite studious, don't I? I mean, I can pull it off.
You're very academic. I like it.
There it is, academic. As I'm wearing my Tyler Childers shirt right now. Can you yeah. Can you look academic and wear a Tyler Childers shirt?
I think you can. You're pulling it off.
I will tell you, I don't know if you've ever seen him in concert, but I highly recommend it.
No. I just saw Alex Warren. He was great.
So I don't know that one. So I don't listen to country music, but I like bluegrass. And I'll tell you, he was absolutely outstanding. But let's take a look at this here. So,
yeah,
John, you've been leading PetScreening. You're the CEO, founder. I'm curious now. When I first was introduced to you, the comment was made to me: lifelong entrepreneur. What does that mean for you? Like when you say you're a lifelong entrepreneur, we hear these terms like serial entrepreneur all the time. What else besides PetScreening do we have in our back pocket here?
Yeah, so before I started PetScreening, I had a property management company that I started at zero and had that for about 15 years and grew it to a nice sized company. In fact, that journey is what led me to discover the idea of PetScreening. So kind of one entrepreneurial journey took me to another. So between the two companies, 15 years and then 9 years at PetScreening with about 3 years overlap. I've been at this for a good 20 years.
That's a long time
of being an entrepreneur.
So now when you say the overlap, now give everybody kind of the idea of what PetScreening is, because the way I understand it, and let's see if I get it right or not, you really are working with like hotels and properties to kind of navigate this new pet world that kind of evolved out of COVID. Is that my understanding of it, or am I getting it all jacked up?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, look, there's more pets in U.S. households than children under 18. So pets are everywhere, and people want to travel with their pets. They want to live with their pets. And in the world of rental housing, Sean, people want to live with their dogs and cats. And I wanted to create a platform that made sure that pet owners knew what the rules were to follow, and that the landlords would be more welcoming to pets. Let me just say this, Sean. I don't think all pit bulls are dangerous. I never have believed that. No, not all German Shepherds are dangerous, to tell the whole story.
Well, and this is one of my favorite statistics about dogs. Do you know what dog has the highest number of bites every year?
Chihuahua.
I always heard Labrador.
Yeah, well, Chihuahuas are high too. Now they're nippers, but they still bite.
Nippers.
They still bite.
Well, I'm talking like hospital, like going and needing stitches. It's Labradors because because more people have them, and we consider them as this loving pet that wouldn't hurt a fly, but in reality, there's so many of them. And I'll tell you and a lot of people don't. Hey, folks, you want to know what the nastiest dog you'll ever deal with in your life is? It's a Dachshund or a Dalmatian. Excuse me, a Dalmatian. Dalmatian is the nastiest dog you will ever deal with in your life. But we don't think of that because we think of 101 Dalmatians, the Disney movie, right?
Yeah, I was at an event last night, and we had a Dalmatian, and it was a very well trained Dalmatian, but its trainer was there. So
right, you just nailed it. Its trainer was there to address it. Well, a lot of people don't realize that's why they were on the fire trucks, was to keep criminals from getting on the fire trucks. That's why it was why it was the fire dog.
I did not know that. I learned something.
Yeah, that I learned that from one of those History Channel shows. So you help these folks navigate it, but are you still doing the property management also?
Yeah, so I did property management for 15 years. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. I was wondering if you were still doing the property management.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, yeah. So I started PetScreening while I had my property management company, but in 2020 I sold my management company. So now I do one thing, and I run PetScreening exclusively. But we service the property management industry. I mean, Sean, you're a military guy, so let me just again thank you for your service.
Thanks, bro.
But we have military bases that use PetScreening.
Really? Which bases are using it?
Oh, well, there's about 110 of them, and they're all the bases that are so it's a variety of them. I can't name them all, but it's about 110 bases. The government, believe it or not, the military outsources their property management to approved property management companies like Balfour Beatty. There's a few others. And so One of those entities had a big pet problem with active personnel,
I can see that. Yeah.
and they needed a way to better manage pet policies, and so they've been using pet screening for several years now.
So then what exactly? So I got an HOA. I'll use that for an example. I got an HOA I'm running, and we're trying to manage the pets that are there. How does pet screening help me out with that?
Yeah, so HOAs is actually a vertical we're going to be launching into. So the way I would think about it, Sean, is imagine a rental property inside that HOA. Some of those
Okay.
units are owned by primary owners, and then some are owned by investors. And typically with HOAs, want the investor properties to make sure that their tenants that are living there, that they know the rules, right? Your dog must be leashed in the elevator. If your dog takes a poop somewhere, you got to pick it up. If you live in a vaccination state, it's got to be vaccinated. And we just make sure that those rules are conveyed to the pet owner and that the pet owner acknowledges them. And it's a very fair relationship, right? A property manager is welcoming to dogs, but the owner has to follow the rules. And pet screening is the platform that conveys the rules, and then the pet owner agrees to the rules. And it really helps everybody. I mean, it lets more pets. More pets are welcomed using our platform. Many property managers across the country have dropped breed restrictions. Kind of just the
It
CDC of the
is.
'60s put out a list of yeah, they put out a list in the '60s like 13 dangerous dog breeds, and that list is kind of stuck. And I have a lot of proof that all dogs can bite. You even talked about how Labradors can bite. So, we're very proud to say that we're giving a chance for all dogs and cats to live in housing, but they got to follow rules, right? Pretty simple.
So is it like an app that they go on to and they kind of fill out their breed information? Are you
Yeah,
tracking
yeah,
like
yeah.
vaccinations and stuff like that through
Correct.
it? What
Yes,
what all
yes,
is it
you
doing?
got it. Yeah, so we're capturing information on the pet and the pet parent. So veterinarian information, vaccination records, photos, sex, size, breed, weight, if it's gone through any training, any microchipping. I mean, we're really just collecting lots of data that helps a responsible pet parent. Responsible pet parents typically have micro vaccinations on file,
Yep.
analyze it and give it to the property manager and say, hey, this seems to be a low risk pet and pet owner together. And then the property manager makes the decision if they're going to accept that pet, and then decides how much they're going to charge a pet rent, because a lot of times they do charge pet fees.
I like. Well, I'll tell you now. The other side to this that I'm curious of is some people. Well, this isn't my pet. This is my comfort animal, and from working on the railroad, comfort animal is a trigger word for me because I don't believe in the comfort animal term. It's either a trained or it's a pet. There's really no in between. Have you guys seen pushback from pet owners where they're like, no, this is my comfort animal. I don't need to tell you any of these things. You still there, John?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
see
very
this.
sorry, you froze. You can try that
That's all
again.
right. Yep. So what I was saying is have you seen any pushback from owners where they're like, "This is my comfort animal. I don't have to tell you anything. My doctor said I can have this." Any pushback in that way?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up. So the other part of our service is people who have emotional support animals and service animals. We make sure they meet the framework of the law. We're not punitive, but we're going to make sure they meet the lawful standards. So we do have people that sometimes push back, but the ones that push back typically aren't the ones that really qualify for the animal. And so part of our service is making sure that someone who has a service animal, that it's legitimate and not a bad actor. Because there's a lot
Gotcha.
of people that need those animals, but there's also a lot of people who are faking it.
Now, how do you guys go about that verification process? Because as I was mentioned earlier, I worked for Amtrak, and we weren't even allowed to. We were
Sure.
allowed to ask what service the animal provides, but there's actually no national standard. There's different organizations that provide to say this is a service animal. Like I had a client who she was blind, and she was telling me, she's like, my dog has a tattoo in its ear and a number on its collar that proves it's training, but there was nothing. I had never met anyone else like that. how do you guys work within those constraints since there is no national standard for those things?
Well, we work under the federal government. So, for example, service animals in the context of housing, Sean, fall under HUD. So
Okay.
the HUD and Fair Housing Act. The HUD and Fair Housing Act outlines guidelines for both service animals and emotional support animals. And to your point, there's no national registry. I mean, people go and buy certificates online for like $100, but those
Yeah.
certificates aren't really worth anything in the context of housing.
Yeah, it's wild. They can just go and be like, all right, you know,
Yep.
this
Yep.
is what I'm going to do.
Yep. But that doesn't make it so, right? You can go to Amazon and buy a vest that says service animal and slap it on a dog, but that doesn't make it a service animal. In fact, service animals don't even have to wear vests. Now, sometimes, when they're working, an owner wants a vest on their dog because they don't want the general public trying to pet it, and it's a necessity, but it's not a requirement in the terms of a service animal must wear a vest.
Got now one of the other things though, and I want to kind of roll back to you starting this company.
Yes.
15 years in property management. Well, you're well established. You know your business. You're doing this. Things are solid. You probably could have closed your eyes and done 90% of the work in your sleep. Uh, Married or single? Just out of curiosity, this helps this question. Oh, you there, John? Did I lose you?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's
Yeah,
I
that's
got
okay.
some of that, not all of it.
So what I was saying is you're 15 years, you're well established, everything's going good. Um, if you
Yeah.
had I don't know if you had a significant other or kids or whoever in your life at the time, but what was that conversation like as an entrepreneur, going to them and saying like, "Hey, this thing I've been really well established and pays all our bills. I'm going to go ahead and sell that thing and do this passion project." How did that go
Yeah,
over?
yeah. Yeah, so there was one other thing I had going on, Sean, is while had my property management company, I was serving in the North Carolina House of Representatives. So I was a lawmaker, and I was passing laws related to tenant landlord law. So I really
Okay.
understand the law, and I saw that a lot of property managers don't understand the law. So I thought maybe I need to create a software product for property managers to just let me go handle the law for them. And so that was another component of strength that really said, okay, my property management background, my role as a legislator and a lawmaker, combined with my love of pets, triangulated pet screening, and the idea was born.
But I'm curious. So nobody at home was like, "I'll be damned if you're going to do that. We need to. You just stay there and deal with these properties." So everybody was good with it.
Well, they were, but here's why. Remember, I told you there was some overlap. I had three
Right.
years of still running my management company while I was
Gotcha.
launching pet screening. And so pet screening was really starting to show some real success at about 18 months. And by the time 3 years got there, which was when I sold my management company, it was very clear to me that I had lightning in a bottle. It was very clear to me.
So then I got to ask this one then. When you sold off your management company,
Yes.
was that like selling off one of your kids? Like what was that like? Because
Yeah.
we always talk to business owners about exit strategies and stuff like that. But what was
Yes.
that like?
You know what I did, Sean, is I sold it to a company that was a national roll up startup. Like they were going to roll up a bunch of companies like mine. And I was one of the very first purchases. And I really believed in what they wanted to do. So I actually invested in them. So I sold my company, but then I took some of my proceeds and I invested in the company. So I'm actually on their cap table. So in a weird way, I guess I'm a small owner in their company. I'm a very silent partner. So I never
Nice.
really completely exited, but I think it showed all my employees who obviously went over there that I'm still, I believe in it so much. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. And so I made a large investment in them, and that business has grown. I mean, they've quadrupled their size. So that'll be a nice
Wow.
payday in the future. I mean, I believed in them. And so I think one thing about me is if I believe in something, brother, I'm going to do it. I just don't talk it. I do it.
I love it. And for those of you that are just joining us, if you're curious about pet screening, maybe you live in a development or somebody who's got some where you're hearing this and you think that it makes sense. Running along the bottom of the screen here, you got you'll see the website petscreening.com. Check out what John has going on there. If you have any questions, maybe you currently live somewhere and you're trying to bring in your pet. You know, you got a pet alligator, pet iguana. I don't know. Do you do exotics too, or is it just
Yeah, I
dogs
mean,
and cats?
we could. Well, I mean, we can screen anything. We can screen birds, bunnies, snakes. I don't know if we've ever done an alligator, but I built the platform to be able to screen any type of animal. But it's largely dogs and cats.
I mean, that's an interesting one. And Kathy, thank you for the heart there. If you've got any questions, please drop them in. Those of you who watched last week's show, Kathy read the first couple chapters of my book. She said it was horrible and I should never write again. That's not what she said, but it makes me feel better to say it that way. But so launching this now, you're like I said, you know, and look, folks, you want to know what a good guest is. This is somebody who was like, listen, Murph, I'm changing my travel plans to talk to you. I don't know what lies he was told that made him believe that he should be here and change his travel plans for me, but I appreciate John for that. But my question is like getting this out. Is that what you're doing now? You're like on the road hustling this to different places and all
I
that
I
stuff?
I yes. I, yeah, I literally travel almost every week. I go to conferences and I speak on stage about laws relating to animals. We'll do 180 conferences this year as a company.
Wow.
Going to 180 shows with exhibit booths, and I mean, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. But that's how we grow our company is awareness and education. And I left, as you know, New Orleans because of the weather. But I've got 32 employees in New Orleans right now at our largest conference of the year.
So how big is the? I mean, to ask that question. So how big is PetScreening itself? I mean, I guess I had a misunderstanding because this is going to be 100% on me because I was like, oh, it's John. He started this thing. How big is PetScreening?
We have 200 W-2 employees.
No shit, brother. That's serious.
Yeah, it's
Holy
serious.
crap.
Yeah, the 200 employees. Yeah, yeah. We're in 8 million rentals nationwide. 8 million.
Wow. How about the other side of the rental world, the Airbnb world? How does this work with
Yes.
them?
Yeah, excuse me. We launched a vacation product about a year ago, so we are now in the vacation rental space because look, I started off on the show, and I'm sorry for the bad connection, but people want to take their pets anywhere they live, work, play, stay, or travel. And
That's
so,
it.
to me, living is living with your HOA, living in your rental, living in your neighborhood. But then the play and the stay is taking your dog on vacation, taking maybe sometimes your cat too. It doesn't matter to me. And so, PetScreening has a vacation rental product because people want a vacation with their pets, and we can help hotels as well. I mean, just think of us as we call it a pet passport. People with pets can take their pets places.
Now, now the other side to it, as I'm thinking about what you're saying, John, is so say I'm going to. Well, you know what? There's a pretty good chance here in December. My wife and I were going to go down to Fort Lauderdale. Now I'm not traveling with
Okay.
my dog. I have two dogs and two cats. I'm not traveling with them,
Okay.
but I might travel. Like my corgi, I would travel with just because he's got a lot of personality. But is there a version of this where when you said pet passport, where I as a consumer and not a renter or a property manager or something like that, I can go on here, fill it out. You've already verified it, and I could send it to somebody say, "Hey, my dog's okay, and here's his certification through pet screening."
So that functionality for the vacation side is not. It's driven by the property manager. So if you
Okay,
were applying at an Airbnb and they used pet screening, they would direct you to our platform, and then you would go through our platform, and we would share your profile back with the landlord saying, yes, Sean's got a corgi, it's vaccinated, he's going to agree to all the rules, and it meets your standards, and then they would approve you. But I think over time, as we grow, I could see a way where it's more direct to consumer, where a pet owner can come in and apply and then share it before they go somewhere. To your point,
I'm just thinking about it right now. You know, I'm
yeah,
putting my entrepreneurial hat on right now, and that's
yeah,
actually
sure,
something that comes to mind to me right now. Like $4.99 a month. If you got somebody who's a heavy traveler, and I could pay
sure,
you $4.99 a month, we're both going to clear our throats today, and I
yeah,
could pay
no,
you $4.99 a month to maintain my pet's passport, kind of, or pet portal. so that when I'm going places and they're like, well, if you have a pet, where I can say, well, here's the link, this is, here's my pet screening, and it's already set up for them. I love that idea,
Yep.
that it's like, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Well,
renewable income because it's subscription based.
yep. Yep. And yeah, in our
This-
current long-term rental product, once someone goes to the platform and they pay for the year, they can share it a million times if they want to, and they don't pay another fee for that year. So it very much works that way on the long-term rentals. And the vacation rentals, because we're newer there, we haven't built that functionality out. It's very direct one-to-one, but you get the gist, right? We just want to have a way for people to take their pets places and then show off and say, hey, my dog's going to follow your rules, and I've got a good dog. And so, and one thing I do want to share with Sean, like this, I love to do good. Like, I think we're a very good corporate citizen, and we use our profits to do good. And I started
Oh, John, they're getting you.
the
gremlins
first
are getting
Amber
you.
Alert for pets. It's called
Hold
Fido
on,
Alert.
hold on, go back
Can you
for
hear
me
me,
a
Sean?
second, John. Yeah, I heard we want to do good. We think we're a good corporate citizen, and then I lost you.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So we use our profits to do good, and we started the first Amber Alert for pets. It's called Fido Alert.
What?
Fido Alert.
That's
So go to
awesome.
FidoAlert.com. We have over 2.5 million pets in Fido Alert, and we've sent over 12 million text messages reuniting lost dogs and cats with their owners. And it's
Fido
free
Alert.
to any pet
Amber
owner in
Alert for
America.
pets.
We pay for it out of our own money.
What? This is amazing. I'm sending this to my wife here
Yep.
in a moment. I'm actually going to send this to my.
Yeah, go for it. And
Wait a second. I love this.
Yeah.
This is absolutely awesome. I'm absolutely sending this right now
Yeah.
to some folks, because we don't have anything like this. This doesn't exist. Use like neighbors
That's
or
exactly
next
right.
door
It
or
does not
something like
exist.
that. Well, it
That's right.
does exist
That's right.
now.
That's right. It does not exist, Sean. Well, it does now, and I'm paying for it. Like, I tell people it's free because I pay for it with my profits out of pet screening. Pet screening does good, and part of doing good is trying to reunite lost dogs and cats with their owners. 10 million pets a year in the U.S. still go lost or missing, and we can launch a rocket and catch it with chopsticks. I mean, what in the world?
Right. But yet we can't do that. That's amazing. That is
And it uses tech.
absolutely
It uses
amazing.
tech. So Sean, the way it works is when you sign up for Fido Alert, we'll send you a free dog tag. It's an aluminum tag. It has a QR code on it, and that QR code ties to your cell number. So if your dog gets out, anyone can scan the QR code, and we capture their information, and then I text it to you, and I say, "Hey, Bobby Sue has your dog, and here's her number."
That is so cool. Like, now that, listen, way to bury the lead there, John. Way to bury the lead. I'm kidding, but that is, I've never in my life heard of something like that. And it
Yeah.
just makes simple sense. Have you gotten any track now? I know we're talking about this one right now.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any traction from like the big media companies or anything like that, where they're like,
Yeah.
hey, we'd love you to come on to like Good Morning
Yeah.
America or anything like
Yeah.
that?
Well, we haven't been to the big networks, but we've been on Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, I was on their NBC affiliate. We've been on the Charlotte ABC station. We've won awards on this product, and this is a non-monetization product, meaning we did not create Fido Alert to try to. We created Fido Alert to try to help people
This is
find
great.
their lost dogs and cats.
This is amazing. Like, this is such a cool thing. Listen, again, folks, if you want to know what John's got going on,
Yeah.
obviously he's got his hands in
Very
a
cool.
lot of different things here with the pets with pet screening. Again, if you're living in a development and you want your people involved in it, you can go to PetScreening.com, and then, like you just mentioned to us, FidoAlert.com. I'm on here right now, and right there at the top corner it says "Get Started," or it says "I found a pet." That is
Yep.
so cool. So you just
Yeah, it's
they
really-
just scan the
really
QR. And is there
Yep.
any limit to like pets in a household?
Well, so we provide one free tag because these tags are $8 at Chewy, and so I can
Okay.
only afford to send you one tag. Now you can buy another tag. I think we sell the tags for less than $5. We
Well, that's
make
great.
the tags. This will sound really dumb, Sean, I have my own dog tag factory
What?
because I had to
That's
keep my
awesome.
costs so low. I had to make my own tags. Yeah,
That's not dumb. That's
we make them right
genius.
here in North Carolina. We make them. Well,
That's
it's
well,
expensive. I mean, I have I have pieces of
you're
equipment that cost me damn near $1 million to have these pieces of equipment.
here's where you're missing your labor market. Can I help you with your labor market there? Move it to Onslow County.
What you got?
Move it to Onslow County because there's
Onslow. I know
because
Onslow.
there's because there's nothing but wives and girlfriends who get brought
Okay.
there. They're there for a couple of years and then they're gone. So you're not worrying about, are they, you're not worried about, hey, I've got to worry about a retirement or a
Right.
401k. They're literally a transient workforce that's constantly turning over for you. And you could probably get them to sit there all day long while somebody's on deployment and just bang through that. Easy. Onslow County. You want a real funny story about Onslow County, John? I got to tell you funny. You ready? This is a real Onslow County story.
Can you
Let me
see
know if
this?
you
Can
can
you
hear
see
me.
this? Can you see it? That's the
Uh,
tag factors. Can you see it? All the tags.
oh, yep. Now I see it. Yep. So you ready for a funny Onslow County story?
Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah. What you got?
So did you know? And maybe you knew this from being in the North Carolina legislature. You weren't involved in that bathroom scandal, were you? Where they couldn't figure out boys and girls bathrooms in North Carolina? Fucking unreal. Um,
I yeah. Well,
you
yeah.
can plead the
I know
fifth.
what you're
Plead the
talking about.
fifth.
I was okay. Yeah. I was there.
Plead the
I was
fifth.
there.
So
Okay.
this really happened in Onslow County. Anheuser-Busch was going to put a manufacturing facility in Onslow County.
Okay.
Whole like think about that. That's Anheuser-Busch. That's Budweiser. That's a
Yeah.
big beer
Big
manufacturer.
big jobs. Big jobs.
Big job, big money. They had everything set. The good old boys of Onslow County said, I'll be damned,
Hmm.
and fought them off because they knew that if Anheuser-Busch came in, they were going to pay a higher wage than what everybody else who wasn't on the base was paying. And the good old boys around Onslow County were like, I'll be damned if you're paying anybody more than
Right.
what we're paying. And they fought them off so that they didn't have higher wages. Because think about it, if Anheuser-Busch
Wow.
shows up in Onslow County in the 90s and starts paying, $6, $7 an hour in the 90s, people are going to be all about it. And you're not going to get some boy who, wasn't in the Marine Corps, who's just around the county, who you can pay $3 and $4 an hour. Yeah, that's a real story about Onslow County. Did I lose you, John? You there, John? One more time. Did I lose you, bud? I can see you moving, but I can't hear nothing.
I know it's terrible internet, but I
That's
heard
all
your
right.
story.
It's real though. It's a real story.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember in North Carolina you could
Oh, wait a sec. Where I could what? I lost him. This is great. John was going to tell a great story.
never
Then is
buy?
it? I lost you, John. Hold on. Come back. Do I
Sean, did you
remember in
hear?
North
Did you hear me?
Carolina what? No. What do I remember? What now? You there, John? Try one more time. Do I remember in North Carolina? North Carolina, which part? Here's what we're going to do in a
Sean,
second, John.
yeah,
Here's
yeah.
what we're going to do
I'm
in a
so
second.
sorry.
You see where? No, don't worry about it. See where it says private chat down there at the bottom? Here's what I want you to do in that private chat box. Type me your cell phone
Yes.
number.
Okay, let me do that. Or the private chat box. Where is that? Private chat box. Private chat. Okay, here we go. Yep.
There, John.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I don't know what happened there. Mine went out and yours went out. I have nothing.
Okay. I did put my cell number in the chat if you need to call me there. And I'm
Hey,
so sorry.
now listen, shit happens. Don't be sorry.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
So what I was saying
Well,
is I didn't hear what was it back in North Carolina? What now?
okay. Yeah. So do you remember North Carolina? You could not buy beer or wine before noon on Sundays. It was the old blue laws.
100%. Yes.
Guess,
100% remember
guess,
that.
guess who changed that?
Was that you?
This guy.
Well,
we called it the brunch bill. The brunch bill. And what we did is we allowed counties and municipalities to opt into moving their time to 10 a.m. Now, Onslow County probably has not opted into that, but every urban area from Charlotte to Greensboro, Asheville, have opted into it.
well, Onslow County's interesting, and I know we've made a left turn into this. I learned this from
That's okay. Yeah.
when I lived down there. My ex-wife was a real estate agent, and I don't know if you knew this, but prior to the 2000 census, the military didn't have to say how many people were on the base.
Okay.
So what happened there is after the 2000 census, Jacksonville, North Carolina went from a town of about 27 or 30,000, whatever was listed, to a town of over 80,000 in 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So now if you ever get a chance and go there, because of what they saw as a giant growth explosion,
Right.
there's two Walmarts in that town. There's
Okay, gotcha.
every major business that you could think of restaurant wise
Gotcha.
has shown up there because all of a sudden, and it's actually always rated as Jacksonville is the number one military city to raise a family is Jacksonville.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Representative Jimmy Dixon is from Onslow County. So I serve Jim.
I know the name. I know the name. Yeah, I miss.
Yeah, he's been there a long time. He's still there.
I tell my wife all the time if I do ever retire, I will retire back in Jacksonville. I just love it down there. I've always been happy down there, and what's weird about it is because I tell people, young Marines don't understand that they're sitting. The back gate of Lejeune is Topsail Island. People pay stupid amount of money to go rent a place at Topsail Island. And young Marines are like, I hate it there. There's no girls. And I'm like, you're next to Wilmington, North Carolina, UNCW. There's plenty of them there. Trust me. Have faith and confidence in this old head that's going like,
look. You just
go to Wilmington. Go down to Wilmington.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. You'll be there no time. 45 minutes maybe.
That's exactly what it is. 45 minutes. Straight down 17.
Yeah.
Go to Kerr Beach, Carolina Beach. Listen, folks, this is not an infomercial for the state of North Carolina. But listen, someday in my life, I hope that you call me a halfback. You know what a halfback is, though, right, John?
I do know what a halfback is, yes.
You do? Yep. And for those of you that don't know what it is, that somebody goes to Florida and comes halfway back up to New York, and they stop in North Carolina. So then all this stuff, and again, folks, if you want to know what PetScreening's got, if you want to know about PetScreening or you want to know about Fido Alert is FidoAlert.com. PetScreening is PetScreening.com. Again, talk to your local HOAs, talk to your apartment complex, talk to all those people, especially if you have like a friend who's trying to get a pet in. They've got their pet pterodactyl or boa constrictor or whatever it is that John can go ahead and get listed on there, that the boa constrictor is not going to eat the neighbor's bunny or whatever it is. That would be a fun. If you ever have that happen, John, you have to reach out to me. If somebody's like they had a pet rabbit that they were concerned that the boa constrictor wasn't going to eat, but reach out to these guys. Like you said, like John said, he's got 200 different employees. They've got the ideas. They know how to communicate with these people. They know how to work with them. They know what their needs are. The other side to this, though, John, is what has been the biggest challenge that you've run into with presenting this to like hotel groups and housing developments? What's been the biggest challenge with them?
Well, definitely a big challenge are people who are buying these certificates online and calling their animals an assistance animal. It hurts the people who actually need them, and that's a big challenge for landlords. But we solve that. I mean, we truly are the solution for that. Um, I will say, when I started pet screening, people thought we did DNA testing. They thought the name pet screening was
No, that makes
screening
sense.
DNA. And so when I
That makes sense.
yeah, yeah. So when I first started the company, and I don't know if you ever heard of this, but in multifamily, there's a business where you screen dog poop. So if a dog poops outside, you take a pinch of the poop and you match it to the DNA. I'm not joking.
No.
And so people thought we were the poop testing company called. Now there's a company that does that, and I know their CEO. But Pet assumed we did dog DNA
Okay.
challenge.
That's a new one. So they thought you were testing poo. I got nothing
They
for that
did.
one.
They did.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we did have our dog's DNA
Now
tested.
look, 9.
What's that? I missed that last part of that. Lucky what now?
I said 9 years later, we're just growing like kudzu.
Like I just love it just makes so simple sense. And I know I'm stuck on the Fido thing for a minute here, but the Fido thing to me, it's almost like, how did no one else think of this? How did no one else come up with this idea?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's the expense. I think expense. I mean, we spent millions,
Oh, I
but
can't
we've done it
imagine.
out. So maybe
I mean the
that's probably
entire
why no one's done it, because it's so expensive to build.
but you would think that like something like this, one of these big pet stores like a PetSmart or a Petco or a Chewy
Yeah,
or
true,
somebody
true,
like
true.
that would be like,
Yeah,
yeah, like this would be
yeah.
a no-brainer for those guys. Like, hey, we can jump into this market, and for $2, again, $2 a month, you can register your pet with us, and we'll go ahead and make this happen. And you would just think that
Yeah.
these guys would just jump all over these
Hmm.
ideas.
I agree with you.
I don't know. I mean, wow. It just seems, again, in my head, I'm hearing this and I'm going, well, this makes perfect sense. Uh, let's see. So what's the next steps then for you? Where are we taking this to next? You there, John? I guess we lost John again for a second. John, here's what we're gonna do. While John is, we've lost him for a moment. We'll go ahead and make this last call for today. Father's Day is almost here, and let's be honest, Dad probably doesn't need another tie, coffee mug, or last minute gift card. This year, give him something he'll actually enjoy. This episode is brought to you by New Scotland Spirits, small batch handcrafted whiskey made right here in upstate New York. Whether your dad taught you how to throw a ball, fix a problem, work on a car, or simply show up when it matters most, Father's Day is a chance to say thank you. And sometimes the best way to do that is with a great bottle and a little time spent together. Visit newscotlandspirits.com and pick up your bottle for dad for the dad in your life. I can't read today. New Scotland Spirits for the fathers, the mentors, and the men who showed us the way. All right, can you hear me, John?
I can
Are we
hear you,
back?
sir. I'm just so sorry this is happening.
Listen, brother, stop saying you're sorry. I don't want to hear it. You saved alcoholics on Sundays in North Carolina. Did you hear me on that one?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. I said you saved alcoholics on
I'm so
Sundays in
sorry.
North Carolina. You don't need to say sorry for anything.
Yes, I did. I sure did. I sure
Listen, I mean,
did.
that's the best. All right, so let's ask the important question. Um, well, this is actually a very important question for me, and we talked about this a minute ago. Bojangles or Smithfields? I need to know the answer.
Oh man, listen. Okay. I would do Bojangles because I love Bojangles. I ain't gonna lie. I like barbecue, but I love Bojangles. Uh, I do. I love their French fries. I love their I love their biscuits, their Bo-Berry biscuits. I love their sweet tea. Their sweet tea is delicious. Oh, but man, Smithfield's good too. You know what'd be great is a Bojangles and a Smithfield right next to each other.
Oh, that would be amazing. Can I tell you? I got to tell
Wouldn't
you a
it?
funny I'll tell you a funny Bojangles story while we have a moment here. So my wife,
Yeah,
who's from upstate New York, has lived in this area her whole life. A little bit of travel here and there, but nothing like I've done, just going all over the place.
sure.
We were going to visit my son in Charleston, South Carolina,
Okay.
and he was in the Coast Guard. He was stationed down there. Stopped in Jacksonville to visit my stepmother,
Attention guests,
and
please passengers traveling on flight
as
724 non-stop service to Dublin,
listen,
Ireland.
no
Your aircraft
Dublin,
is
dude, that's your flight. They're going to Dublin. Grab that flight.
once
I gotta
again,
Don't
go.
mess around.
passengers
Better
traveling
get that
on flight
flight. Um,
724 non-stop service to Dublin,
so
Ireland. Your
it's funny,
aircraft is
nonstop to
currently
Dublin.
boarding
That's a long ass flight.
It is. It's a long flight, but we got good flights out of Charlotte.
Oh, absolutely. So my wife had never been to Bojangles a day in her life. She knew nothing about it. My boys all knew about it. They living in North Carolina. So as we're leaving my stepmother's, I said to my wife, I was like, "Hey, we're gonna grab lunch at Bojangles." What's that? I'm like, "It's fried chicken." She's like, I'm not eating that. I'm not having that. I'm like, listen, you can do whatever you want to do. Me and the two boys in the back seat, that's what we're getting. If you need something afterwards, talk to me. And you know how
Yeah.
Bojangles has that bucket that's like the big basket thing, the big with the
Oh
handle. You
yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
and
Picnic
my
basket.
son,
Picnic basket.
that's the one, the picnic basket. So my son,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
9 years old now, fit inside of that thing. That's how small he was. So we
Oh my
that's how
gosh.
so he fit into that thing. So we went and we got Bojangles, Bowberry biscuits, sweet tea, fried chicken. The only thing my wife has never had is gizzards, and Bojangles is the only fast food joint that I know that has gizzards. Um, so we
Oh
get
yeah.
all this stuff.
Yes.
We get all
Yes.
this, and she tries it. On that trip, we had Bojangles 5 times. Did I look?
She's a believer. She's a
She was
believer.
like, son of a bitch, the best dirty rice ever. So I I know there's a chubby kid that lives in my soul, folks. I've said that many times. So anytime I can talk about food, there is a rival though. If you live in the Carolinas or in the South, there is only one rival for Bojangles, and you have to bring a switchblade or a gun to go order from there, and that would be Church's Chicken. That is the only
Oh,
rival.
Sean, yes, you are so right.
That's the
Man,
only rival.
churches. That was and remember the yellow corn on the roller and the corn on the cob?
Oh yeah, that is the only
Hmm.
rival in the South for Bojangles chicken
I
is
agree. I
Church's.
agree.
And I've never been to a
Oh,
Church's
churches
that
is
wasn't in a
delicious.
gas station,
It's
and they're
yeah,
all
it's
inside of
crunchy,
gas
crunchy,
stations.
crunchy.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you,
Churches is
John? Have you
good.
ever been to one? Have you ever been to one that wasn't in a gas station? I've never been to one that wasn't
You
in a gas
know,
station.
I haven't been to a churches in probably 35 years, but my parents would
No.
go because it was yeah, I just don't
Yeah.
know where one is. There used to be one in Charleston because that's where I grew up, and there was one on Rivers Avenue.
Yeah.
Churches.
There was one. There was one in Jacksonville, and it was inside of the gas station.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like you want chicken, you go to the gas station.
yeah.
So
Hey,
what?
hey, funny story. One thing when
Yeah,
I was in
please,
the
please.
when I was in the legislature, every year I convinced Bojangles to bring 1,000 biscuits to the General Assembly, and we would pass out. We called it Bowberry Biscuit Day at the NCGA, the North Carolina General Assembly. It was called Bowberry Biscuit Day. I was the most popular lawmaker because everyone would love the fact that I did this. And they would start at 7 a.m. and they would bring these biscuits in that they started making at 4 in the morning, and they would ice them right there on site. I did it every year.
Oh, dude.
It was good.
But
It was good.
I'm curious, and listen. Hopefully, this isn't a nerve. Did you leave the legislature because you wanted to, or was it like a
Yeah.
loss of a race? Like,
No,
so
no,
it wasn't
no.
like
I left on my own. I was there. I won 2 races, and then I lost a race, and then I won 2 races because I served 8 years across, or 8 years across 10 years because I did
right.
everything in North Carolina is 2 year terms. So I did 2 year term, 2 year term. I lost, and then I won 2 years, and then I won 2 years, and I was done in the state House of Representatives. I did make a congressional run and lost in a primary, but that was a federal level run, not a state level.
Gotcha.
I'd done a lot of good things at the state, and I was ready to. Now, I don't think I'm done, Sean, in politics. I enjoyed it. I was good at it. I got along with everybody. I didn't care if you're a Democrat, Republican. I just want to do good policy. So I feel like I could go back, but we'll just see what happens.
It's an itch I have. I will tell you,
Yeah.
it's an itch I have,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to. But I don't know how to scratch. Have no idea how to scratch. And I'm at a huge disadvantage in North Carolina, or not North Carolina, but in New
And New
York,
York. And New York. Yes, you are. Yeah.
because I'm a libertarian.
Got it. Yeah. So, I mean, sadly, right, two-party major system,
Oh,
you know, it's,
oh well, when Lord Commander Cuomo was in office out here, he shot the third party right between the eyes.
yeah.
He was having a little bit of a tough run with the Green Party, which is crazy because it was the woman from the redhead from Sex and the City was
Oh,
running.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I
She
remember
was
her. Oh, yeah.
running in some political group, and she had like less than like 3% of the vote. Like it was nothing, but for whatever reason, the media was like running with her, and
Wow.
he put in some laws that basically said third parties got no shot in this state
Interesting.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was listen, but that's why I refer to him as Lord Commander Cuomo. You know,
Yeah,
it
well,
could
you
have
should
been
do it.
Edward.
You should do it. Yeah,
I've
you
thought
should do
about it.
it.
I really have. I think
Yeah.
to me it just seems like, for lack of a better term, it seems like fun.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'm curious.
it's good work. Yeah, it's good work. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, trust me, it's not always pleasant, but I enjoyed it because I was there for the right reasons, Sean. I didn't need. We made $13,000 a year. Hello, there's no making money doing this, but I did it
And that's
because
what you
I
should
could do
make.
it. That's
That's
right.
what you should
Yeah,
make. That it should
I
never
agree.
be so like, well, this is my career choices,
That's exactly right.
Uh,
Couldn't agree with you more. Yep.
but
Yep.
now I'm curious, how, from a business standpoint and from that political standpoint, how have they helped you translate the two together? Like has one been more helpful than the other? Like how does that work together?
Well, I mean, to always keep church and state separate, so I'd never let government, my personal ideologies creep into my business. We pets, man. That's all I do, and I don't get into the politics of my personal politics, even at my own company. A legislator, I was not, because we're have our own businesses, so they're my company, long time.
So what you're telling me is you never, like I'm like people that shall remain nameless that grew up in Baltimore and then moved to California and they actually have like stock exchange and you can actually follow their stock trading. Her name's Nancy, ends with a Pelosi. Like, I mean,
Oh,
I would never talk. You can follow every trade she ever makes online. Like people have them like websites where you can
yeah,
track her
yeah.
trades. It's crazy. It's
Yep.
absolute insanity to me. Well, look, folks. I know John wants to get home. He's been hanging out with us,
City
doing
council.
these things. I thought about that, doing like a city council or something like that. I live a little bit more in the country. I would promise you, my New York is not the New York that you know. Um, Most people think of New York and they're like, they think of New York City. If you were where I'm at, my New York is not that New York in any way, shape, or form. It's a very, very different kind of New York. So listen, folks, we're gonna get ready to close the bar up. Let John get home here.
City
I
council.
know what's that? I lost you there for a second, John. What'd you say?
I was just saying city council, county council. Let's start there. That's a good place to start.
Best start for me is I just need to show up to the meetings. Find out when they have meetings and show up and be loud. Um, so make sure, folks, you're checking
There you
out
go.
petscreening.com. You're checking out fidoalert.com, seeing what John's got going on. You can reach out to him. I know petscreening.com or Pet Screening has an Instagram page. You can see what he's got going on there. If you're finding John through us or us through John, make sure you're giving all of us a like, share, follow. It really does matter. Next week is a guest that I love their patience with me. They had a move an appearance, then I had to move their appearance. But we're finally going to have on next week Dave Munson. Dave is the CEO and founder of Saddleback Leather. He's has from the back roads of Mexico to running a global brand. Dave, I'm going to tell you, John, you might have a good catchphrase for your companies, but Dave may have the best catchphrase I've ever heard for any company. His catchphrase for his company is it's so good they'll fight over it when you're dead. I love that catchphrase. So he's going to be on next week. We're going to be talking about how he went from literally back roads to a hands-on approach of revolutionizing how quality and legacy
John, you got me
leather.
back here?
Yep, I got you, John. Can you hear me? I'm still here with you, brother.
Okay.
So we're
Yeah,
gonna.
I'm so sorry about that.
All good, man. So
Okay.
So we're gonna be having him on. We're gonna be talking about his product. I use his product. I've been using a saddleback leather bag and wallet for months now, good 6 to 8 months now. So we're gonna have him on. We're gonna be talking. Now, John, we're gonna give this a shot. If it doesn't work, all good. So don't log off on me. If I need to call you, I'll call you. But the guest always gets the final word on every episode. So what's our final word tonight, John? You there, John? All right, hold on. Here's how we're going to do this because John's internet's still giving him some trouble. So here's how we're going to do this. John, I don't know if you can hear me or
Thank
not.
you, Sean.
Can you hear me?
This, but thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
There.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
It's Sean, the host of the Above the Bar podcast.
Sean.
I got you. Can you hear me, Sean?
All right, here's what we're gonna do.
Sean,
I'm gonna end your stream. I'm gonna put you down. All right, can you hear me now?
Okay, hang on. I'm getting. Oh yeah, I'm getting it. Can you hear me now? Hang on.
I got you. Big Marv, what's going on, brother?
Much better.
My man, Big Marv just popped up. What's up, brother? So real quick, so we can do it this way. The guest always gets the final word in every episode. So I got you. What's our final word for tonight?
You know what? Be kind to everybody. It doesn't cost you anything extra.
Alrighty, folks. Be sure to push stool in.
This has been a Second Front podcast presentation found on Apple, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found.